Alright, this is our Morbius review. And for this review, we're going to be putting together this thing we found at Walmart because they don't have any Morbius toys.
But this is still part of the Sony / Marvel universe, so
Yeah, so close enough.
we're kind of counting it.
That's what we got.
Yeah. But yes, this is mainly a review of Morbius and 2 trailers that we saw, which are Spider-Man
Yeah.
Multiple Universe Part 1.
So this sort of fits even better.
Oh, yeah.
More now because...
Although this is not that right Spider-Man. Oh, this is even...
This is the No Way Home, so close enough.
Yeah, it's not... Oh, is it...
But there was also a Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness
But we'll save
trailer.
that for the actual movie, I guess. Or what?
There was the Doctor Strange trailer in the movie too.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, I think that's when we were just coming in.
Yeah, well, I seen that anyway at the beginning of Batman, I think.
Remember when like the Scarlet Witch was saying like, oh, when you save the world, people love you, but when I do, they hate me.
Ah,
Just because I enslaved a whole town of people and tortured them for weeks
I actually
for
don't...
my own amusement.
Oh, was that in the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't...
Well, that's what
Or in WandaVision? that I
WandaVision was.
Didn't watch.
Yeah, no, she like enslaved the whole town. Like she used her magic mutant power, or whatever it is, to like force everybody into characters in TV shows.
Well, no, that's superheroes. If you have the might, then you are right.
Well, no, she wasn't right.
Oh. Oh, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, because Doctor Strange is saying that she's wrong. Is she the bad guy in
Actually,
the
she-
Doctor Strange movie?
Like we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
But no, like she was.
But that's generally how it works. Like, if the superhero is more powerful, he's the one
Yeah.
who gets to decide what's good and bad.
Yeah. Even though.
Because the justice system in well, talk about Batman during this, but...
Well, she's being portrayed as like the victim of something,
Oh, okay.
even though she was like the perpetrator of horrible human rights violations and all that.
Yeah, no, it seems like superhero, like even in, like this is the same for the Fast and the Furious movies, where even if you're the most horrible guy in the world, you can turn into a good
Yeah.
guy anyway. Like we can't have bad guys anymore. If a villain is fun enough, then he has to be a bad guy, even though the reason why we liked him was because he was bad.
Yeah.
Not because he had a nice personality or something. It's because he was having fun being bad.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about Matt Smith in this. He was having fun. Yeah, I wrote this down in my notes if we're not getting too far ahead, but Morbius had to be all sad about having powers where Matt Smith was allowed to be happy. So the good guys always have to be sad about having powers, or the bad guys are allowed to enjoy themselves.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's just get this started then. Oh, we already have like a pre-made car piece.
What do you call that? A chassis?
Chassis, yeah.
Or is it chassis that goes on top? Whatever.
That's what. Too bad, because like we had to make like the Batmobile, we had to like build it ourselves. But I guess this is.
Or this is for 4+, I guess.
Oh yeah, 4-year-olds, so it can't be too advanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what? We'll start with Morbius, I guess, then, and
Yes.
then do the trailers afterwards, because I didn't really write much for the
Well,
trailers.
we can start with the trailers.
Okay.
Trailers happen first, so yeah.
All right, so this would be Spider-Man Into the Multiverse Part 1 again. / Part 2's coming later, because we are now a streaming service, movie theaters.
Yeah.
So this is really season 1 of Spider-Man. Yeah, that's what they... So in streaming, they're called seasons, and in movies, they're called parts. So, we got Part 1. Generally, it seems like trailers are starting to put fuller scenes in the movies now, because in the Spider-Man one, we had like Gwen Stacy there. We had like a whole 30-second scene of Gwen Stacy,
Yeah.
and it was like an extended one. It wasn't like, you know, a cut-up scene. It was, here's the scene of them, of Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man meeting again. And
Yeah, she's just like, well, come on and break the rules with me. And he's like, no, I have to follow the rules because I'm a good guy. She's like, who cares? Let's go. Have fun."
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got superpowers.
Yeah. You don't need rules.
Or is this another one about responsibility again?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, no, it looked like he was fighting the future Spider-Man in some weird cartoon universe world.
Yeah, who was he? Oh, I thought... That's right, because some Spider-Man grabbed him, right? While they were
Yeah.
swinging around. Yeah, I kind of like this too anyway, because they are using a lot of different art styles too, and it's kind of neat. Like, I'm not against I just hate the fact that we're not getting full movies anymore, like full meals when we go to a movie theater anymore. At least we got that with Morbius. Matt Smith at least had a whole character arc.
Like, yeah, at least this one had a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. That's why I'll
Sort
tell
of.
you. Well, sort of, but enough.
Well, they kind of had
It was short.
pre-beginning, but that they kind of forgot about.
Oh, when they, he goes and steals those bats in the first scene.
Yeah, it's like it starts out, they're in like the Amazon, in this, like right in front of this cave full of deadly bats. And remember the helicopter guy brought him there, he wanted to like leave because, I guess it's dangerous. Well, I guess it is dangerous if
Well,
it's
they
like
showed that the
bats
vampire bats eat up animals very
Yeah.
quickly, apparently. I'm guessing that's false, but that's part of the movie.
But yeah, so he brought out this big, I don't know, box full of string. That
What is that?
Yeah, like it opens up with like string attached that comes now attached to the top of the box.
Oh, right.
We have no idea what that's for because they never cut back to it.
Yeah.
Like they did that thing where they start in the middle of a scene,
Oh, yeah, where you, you start off.
but then in the middle of that scene they cut back to like 25 years later.
Because like the beginning of their story, nothing interesting happened, so they
Yeah.
have to show you the interesting part instead of just starting at the interesting part.
Yeah.
Do you want to actually finish off the trailers?
Yes. All right. Yes. Trailers.
So yeah, I guess I kind of finished off my Spider-Man thing. It's part 1. It looks neat enough. I'll probably watch it on streaming more than the theater, but we'll see.
Yeah, I liked the Into the Spider-Verse. I thought that was really good. I liked it a lot. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that it's part 1 is bothering me.
the fact that it's a streaming thing and not like an actual movie, that's kind of weird. And I don't know how I would feel about that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I kind of liked about this movie, actually. It felt a bit more like a movie because it was short. And it seemed like every scene, the story advanced after every scene. We didn't like keep repeating the same thing over and over again.
You didn't? Well, there was like the crime scenes they kept doing over and over again.
I guess so.
But yeah. Anyway, I guess.
But like at the beginning of the movie, it's like, yeah, after Morbius captures his bats, then we go like, we don't spend too much time like here. We see like, oh, Morbius meets Matt Smith. Next scene, their relationship develops, and then we see that they're friends and they're rich. It seems like every scene they sort of advance the story, and we weren't just repeating the same thing.
Yeah, I guess.
It's only an hour and 40 minutes
Yeah.
compared to Batman, which was 3 hours and told probably pretty much the same story.
It did seem to have a bit of filler in this one too. But well, I guess we'll get to that.
Oh, right.
so,
Do we want to talk
trailers.
about the Dumbledore
Yeah.
trailer?
The Secrets of Dumbledore is the new, not Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts.
Wizarding World, I think
Yes.
they've been calling it now. Yeah, so we have the guy from Casino Royale, Mads Mikkelsen, as the bad guy, it looks like. Is he playing Jack Sparrow?
Yes. He's playing the pre-Voldemort.
Oh, no, I meant not... Oh, yeah. The bad guy before Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he's sort of like... Him and Dumbledore had a relationship or something. Oh, it's probably like a Matt Smith and Morbius thing,
Yeah.
actually.
They met when they were kids and they promised to be friends forever.
And then...
And now they have to fight each other in like an ironic, tragic twist.
Yeah. They both wanted the same thing, but did they want the same thing? Because Matt Smith seemed to just want power and to be a bully to the bullies who were a bully to him, and
Yeah,
Morbius just wanted to be a sad sack. That's all he wanted.
So yeah, that's the trailer, I guess.
Well, yeah, because I don't know what else was I going to say. Yeah, like maybe that's what they should do, actually. If they have to keep the same villain, they may as well just change the actor every time, and just to keep it fresh, if they have to stay with the same bad guy.
Yeah.
But actually, just watching Mads Mikkelsen, he was just in the trailer, he seemed 10 times better than the other two guys playing Johnny Depp. Because Johnny Depp was just a weird guy in makeup. And then in the first movie, it was just Colin Farrell, not dressed as a penguin.
Yeah.
But here, like Mad Mikkelsen, he looks scary and everything, and not just like a pretty boy in makeup. So I think that's a positive for.
Right. So you think it's
for
going to be good?
Dumbledore. I don't really care about Harry Potter. Oh, I guess I'm going to watch it anyway, but
Yeah.
well, we'll see. I liked the first Fantastic Beasts because it was like a little story, but I didn't. But I hated when the second part was just a part 2 and not really a actual movie, you know.
Yeah,
That was a streaming movie, basically, that one.
I didn't really enjoy those Fantastic Beasts one. Like, I thought they were really boring at times, and it's kind of like the tone was kind of all over the place too.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I watched, because there was a commentary track by people I like, so I watched the Harry Potter. I watched the first Harry Potter last night, actually. And, yeah, it's very different. Like, it's very colorful, the first Harry Potter movie compared to these movies.
So I think that's what drew all the people in, was like the first 2 or 3 movies where they had like that.
And that's when everyone was still kind
They
of
had
kids,
like that
too.
childlike whimsy feel to it.
And that's when they had like and probably a lot of kids, a lot of people
Oh,
were
yeah.
kids too. And then, like, I think a lot of people our age grew up with that Harry Potter, and then basically now Harry Potter's as adult as us, which
Yeah.
is different from what it was before.
Yeah, that's what you kind of see with like as the movies go on, they progressively get like more
Well,
mature.
Black and white too, as in like the color
Mature-ish.
palette.
Yeah. And,
Everything's washed out.
and less fun.
Yeah.
Really boring. Like the last 2, those are like probably the most. Well, the first part of the last 2 was very boring.
First Harry Potter movie is very weird from a different time too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, at the end, well, I guess his parents don't care, or his uncle doesn't care about him. But at the end of the first Harry Potter movie, he's going home on the train with friggin' scars on his face from the night before. Like, is that what you want your, like? Can you imagine if you did care about your kid and they showed up from their boarding school with scars on their face like that?
What's going on at that school of yours?
Like, is there no?
I'm gonna call the police and investigate it.
I bet that's why they made it so his uncle doesn't care about him, and so that no one asks any questions. Anyway, we should probably get to the movie then. If you
Yeah,
want.
we'll talk about the movie that we saw. Looks like I'm almost done with this too. Anyway, so, or are we done with trailers now?
Yeah, we should move right on to
Okay.
the movie before. Yeah. So what's it about, I guess?
Oh yeah, it's about a guy called Michael Morbius,
Jared Leto.
played by Jared Leto, and he has this blood disease, and he's also a scientist.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if it's supposed to be like the real life disease where you need those crutches, or if they made up one for this.
I'm not sure.
I don't know how sensitive they were being about this kind of stuff in this movie.
I think that's what it shoots.
Yeah. There
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
nice.
Yeah, because this is this the drone from the second Spider-Man movie where it almost shoots up their school bus, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because Spider-Man is jealous of somebody and he wants him dead.
Yeah.
Dead as a friggin' doornail. Get away from my woman. Bang! That's what you get. Care of Spider-Man's old patron.
He controls it with these glasses that.
Yeah, his dead patron's glasses.
Yeah, that Tony Stark gives him, but gives him no instructions about it or what they're supposed to do or what the commands do. Or...
Yeah.
And apparently, that controls everything that Tony Stark owned.
Yeah.
Apparently, Tony Stark had this satellite full of these drones with that can like destroy entire cities.
Yeah, he's like a 19th century billionaire, just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this doctor then they grow up.
Oh yeah, back to the movie. Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Matt Smith. So yeah, Morbius and Matt Smith, they sort of get together as kids in some sort of hospital for the disease they have, and then I guess Matt Smith becomes rich, and he patronizes Morbius with his scientific work.
Yeah, because
Just like Tony Stark was patronizing Spider-Man with all his new toys.
Because like when they were kids, like they both had this sort of disease where they have to be taken to this special hospital.
Yeah, a doctor played by the guy from Chernobyl and other things. He's like the English father figure in every movie right now.
Yeah. And so while there, like he meets child Matt Smith, and he fixes his health machine with a pen.
Yeah. No, actually, it looked like he was like doing something with it, like he was experimenting on the kid. Almost, it looked like.
Yeah.
Because like nurse, all right, no one's there. Then he grabs a pen and takes something out, and puts another thing in. I thought he was like experimenting on him.
Yeah.
But no, it turns out he was just fixing it.
So they send him to this special school, this school for gifted children in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
That's what he said.
Okay.
So, like, alluding to the X-Men school.
Of gifted children.
Gifted children, yeah. The Xavier School of Gifted Children.
Future Superman.
Yeah, then he sends letters to child Matt Smith, and one of the letters blows out the window, so he has to go chase it.
And then he gets beat up by bullies.
Yeah, like this hospital was built right next to this school full of 80s bullies.
High school. It's built beside an 80s high school with 80s bullies in it.
Yeah. And so like these 80s bullies, they ambush him in an alleyway and like start beating up the crippled child.
Yeah.
Because I
guess
that's what makes it cool, is beating up somebody weaker than you.
Well, but I guess the idea was that, showing how bad
back.
they were. Oh yeah, because then like because he starts after he's rescued, he starts beating on another kid actually, and we see that there's some darkness in him.
There's darkness in child Matt Smith. Ooh.
And then
he's almost like a dark shadow of the hero.
Yeah, well, I don't mind that necessarily.
Well, see, I used to not mind it, but until they did it in every friggin' movie.
I guess so, yeah.
Every single Marvel movie.
And then, so then Morbius somehow, he just invents this whole thing that cures this disease and makes him into a Superman using blood bats, or vampire bats.
So yeah, then Morbius grows up and is now a doctor in this, I guess some kind of clinic or hospital or something. Some kind of secret sciencey hospital for kids with the same disease he has, where he does his experiments.
Yeah, and Matt Smith apparently bankrolls a lot of it.
Yeah,
too.
I guess he turned out to be rich the whole time.
Yeah, and so like he is able to create this serum that not only just cures the disease but makes you into a vampire. Like he sort of turns himself into the real Batman.
Yeah, because he was like doing these secret, illegal experiments on bats.
But
in his laboratory that is like
all by himself too.
Both like glass windows that look into the laboratory, and at his
and I guess some sort of self-cleaning bat cage.
Bat containment cage thing.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird that so he's sort of set up, because a lot of these movies, like this is almost like a Frankenstein movie too, or an Invisible Man movie, or that other movie, Jekyll and Hyde movie, where it's one single scientist who creates this great serum. This one scientist who like creates this great scientific breakthrough, which nowadays never happens. It's always a big team of scientists because science is very complicated and getting all that much money. So it's interesting, like, so it seems like this movie is actually more designed to be like 19th century science, because back then in the 19th century, it was actually just more or less hobbyists, like rich hobbyists who weren't really scientists. They were rich and then they trained to become scientists because they had nothing else to do. And what I'm thinking very specifically of is of Darwin, who was an idle rich person who basically found botany after going on a nice 5-year-long trip. And then he never really, and then he came back home, and he then developed by himself, because he didn't really have other people. He maybe talked with few other scientists, but he basically developed that thing himself with maybe some assistants who did technical work around him.
Yeah.
And then he came up with that theory himself, and that's basically something that never happens nowadays, because back then science was very simple actually, because it was just observing with your eyes and maybe some light lab work. Unlike now where you need high-tech science to smashing atoms takes more than one person.
Yeah.
Like you need like a whole team of scientists behind that, not just one person who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was back then. It was one person who knew what he was doing, and then everyone else who were just basically technical. Or that's probably unfair. There's probably got a lot of help from like a lot of the locals that they were using.
It's probably like tons and tons of engineers.
But they wouldn't have had tons of engineers back then. So like now,
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is it's weird how we still have this idea, but Morbius would not be able to happen like that nowadays because science is way too sophisticated.
Okay.
That was just a little interesting thing. That was not necessarily a critique on the movie itself, but it's just interesting how we still have that idea.
Well, it's like a very simple idea because you kind of keep things simple in movies.
Yeah.
Well, like this was like really just a generic superhero actually kind of thing. So you kind of just want to keep things simple enough just to get the story going.
Yeah, it's also like a horror genre thing. So it's interesting. They basically kept that old trope from the past of the single scientist with the big breakthrough.
Yeah.
Oh, they also had lots of bullet time in there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I wrote down
unnecessary.
Bullet time is back, baby. Because
Yeah.
I guess it's easier to do now. Well, if you look how they did it in the 90s with all the cameras around, it's a lot easier to do now.
Yeah.
Because you're not using film either. You use
No, you just
video.
use CGI
Yeah.
and just CGI a slow motion shot.
Yeah. Because you could really just run the whole thing at 240 frames a second, right? And then you just decide at what point
Yeah.
But yeah, because computers can just do that nowadays, unlike when they had to do it in film. Because actually 300 was very hard. They had to use multiple cameras with multiple film speeds.
Oh yeah.
But now you can just do that with one camera. On your iPhone, probably. Oh yeah, and his name is Michael Morbius before he becomes a vampire.
Right. Yes.
That was weird, because it's like... It'd be awesome, because it sounded like Michael Morbius is what Michael Moore turned into after a bad experiment.
Yeah.
I am Michael Morbius.
Or it should be like, Michael is dead. I am now Morbius.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he does like a big experiment on a ship somewhere. And becomes...
Yes, so he has to do these secret illegal experiments like on international waters. So they go to like international waters, like they get this big ship, I guess like a cargo ship.
Mm-hmm.
And he does this science.
They were just 13 miles off of Long Island, and I believe something like 12 miles is international waters.
Yeah.
Because he said have to do it on international waters.
So yeah, so he injects himself with bat DNA. Because bats have this...
Vampire bat DNA.
Or yeah, vampire, because they have a anticoagulant in them,
Yeah,
which cures all blood diseases, I guess.
except for the ones where you want your blood to coagulate.
Yes.
Because there's that other, like, was it hemophilias or something that bleed quite a
Yeah,
lot?
where they can't heal.
Yeah.
It doesn't coagulate in it.
Yeah.
And so...
Here, let me try some stuff.
Okay, you go ahead. So yeah, so he injects himself with his science juice. And the big shock, everything goes wrong. And turns out, I guess he was actually working on like not regular bats, but like some weird science fiction-y bats with magic powers. And so now he has all the magic powers of these magic bats, because normal bats don't do most of the things that he does in the movie.
I think... Okay, so this must be meant for younger children, because we don't get these things where they're really trying to like show you the
Yeah.
pieces. Yeah, it seems a lot simpler too, doesn't it, the instructions?
It's almost immediately after he's like injects himself, he gets these sort of wispy effects whenever he moves really fast.
Oh yeah, that's part of the bullet time stuff.
Oh, and his face turns into like a monster face.
Oh yeah, and Al Madrigal, one of the old Daily Show with Jon Stewart, what do you call them? Reporters, was one of the cops too.
I'll remember nothing. And then, so this boat is full of these mercenaries that brought guns to this science.
Yeah, why did they have guns? Because who are they protecting them from?
Yeah, well, I guess
There's no one to protect them from.
Well, I guess if it's international, I guess pirates can get you.
Yeah, if they know you're there, but they were just like right off of Long Island, right? Like,
Yeah.
pirates would probably be a bit further off.
Anyway, so like one of the sailors, like he goes down, he like checks out this weird sciencey lab in his ship. He's like, "Wait, what is all this going on down here? What are you doing on my ship?"
Yeah.
He's like, and like the love interest doctor, she's like, "No, you get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of this room in your ship. He's don't interfere with our
weird thing that's going to get you killed.
Our illegal human testing sciencey things."
Yeah.
I guess they opened the cage that they put Morbius in while he was transforming. And, well, because he was acting like kind of a jerk, he deserved to die.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. Apparently they all deserve to die, according to that.
Well, no, it's not so much. Yeah, it's just like
detective.
they wanted to kill some people, so it's like we'll make them kind of like jerks so we can kill these guys off.
Yeah, so he can die and you not really feel bad about it.
Yeah, because like later on, like
Not-
a good person does die, but that's done by the bad
Yeah, but
guy.
you don't have to worry about like a moral quandary if the guy was
yeah.
kind of a jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now Morbius, he's now this monster, fat magic vampire monster. And now he's like tearing through the ship. He's like killing all the sailors.
There's only like 3 of them though, I think.
I suppose there's like a bunch.
Well, I thought they even said like there's like 3 or 4 dead or something.
Well, yeah, there was like the ones in the science lab, and then he like was going through ship and executing them all like serial killer style.
Yeah.
But yeah, because they had the audacity to shoot at him for killing that guy
Yeah, yeah.
and being afraid of this weird monster that's killing all these people.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah,
Because actually, because he's the good guy. Because in Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock kills all those people, but he's the bad guy now.
yeah.
They're all just doctors.
Well, no, it was the arms that killed them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was the arms that were evil the whole time.
Yeah, and they talk to him too.
Yeah. So yeah, and then like Mikey wakes up again as Michael, and yeah, like apparently with no memories. So he looks at the security cam footage of him killing all these people.
Did he have a secret identity in the comics or anything like that?
I don't know.
Because everyone knows who he is and what his deal is. Like everyone knows he's a crazy vampire. There's like no secret of that at any point.
Yeah, no, I haven't read any of the comics. I only know him from the '90s Spider-Man cartoon.
I only know him from
First appeared.
from people talking about that Jared Leto's doing another movie.
Yeah. Well, it's very different in the cartoon.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, and then I guess he feels bad about killing all those innocent people and jumps overboard.
Oh, he tries his fake blood too.
Oh yeah.
Or he figures out it. He invented fake blood.
All right.
That's his big claim to fame. Oh yeah, he almost got a Nobel award for it, but he refused it or something.
Did he?
Well, because they were saying, I was looking away, but they were saying like, you refused to like acknowledge the King of Sweden and you were a real jerk or something like that. I was eating nachos when I didn't see if he stood up and walked away or something. But apparently things didn't go well at the award. But anyway, the point is, yeah, he has this magic blood that's fake, which kind of helps him, but not really.
Oh look, the cat jumped up. Oh no, the cat is ruining the shot. Oh no.
Oh yes.
What do we do?
Kitty cat. Did you like? Oh, you didn't see Morbius.
No.
You want attention key? Attention key.
But yeah, so now he's like on the run or something. No, it's not. Wait, no. He just goes back to his hospital, and then this is like the middle part of the movie where, no, not much really happens. But the cops, the detectives.
Oh yeah, they're introduced after the murder, I guess, and yeah, Al Madrigal is there, who was once was that comic? I forget who the other guy was. He was a fairly, I think, a famous rapper or something.
I don't know.
But they were a good team, though. I liked them.
That was the one of 5 crime scenes that they did in the movie, like over and over again. And
well, I guess they did do a bunch of crime scenes because he keeps killing people. Oh yeah, and at some point a nurse gets killed too in like the longest hallway I've ever seen as well. That looked like it went down for like 12 kilometers or something,
Yeah.
like that hallway. So a lot of that must have been like CG too then. Or a mirror or something. Oh yeah, and then they very quickly figure out that something wrong is going on, and they actually pretty quickly figure out that it's Morbius too, don't they?
Yeah.
Like it's not like a big secret throughout the whole movie or something like Batman or something. It's like right away, it's like, hey, oh yeah, that's right. The cop's like, hey, you used to look like a weakling, but now you look healthy. Have you been doing any secret experiments, Morbius? It's a very odd thing to say to someone, I think. You look good today. Have you been doing secret experiments? Wait a minute. I'm going to shoot this gun. I bet you can dodge it. Can you dodge this gun now? Have you been doing secret experiments?
No.
You look good. Can you fly through the air if I throw you off this bridge? Well, but to be fair, though, he was right. Morbius was doing experiments.
Yeah.
Became a super villain or superhero.
And then...
and they never really tell us their vampire rules either. Or maybe they do, but it seemed like sometimes he couldn't control when he looked like a bat, and sometimes it seemed like they chose when they looked like a bat. You know what I mean? Because at first, it seems like they only look like a bat when they're hungry, but then Matt Smith will just look like a bat anyway when he's angry or something.
Yeah. And so
and we get to see Matt Smith actually enjoy himself being. We forgot. That's right. So a nurse dies, right? And then Morbius thinks, "Oh, that's me." So he decides, "I have to run away and not kill anyone else." And that's when the cops get him.
Yeah.
And then later Morbius,
they capture him and put him in jail.
And then later Matt Smith reveals that he killed the nurse.
Yeah, it turns out Matt Smith also injected himself with the science juice. That turns him into like a vampire bat monster. But no, see, he does evil stuff now because he doesn't care.
Likes being.
Yeah, he
likes having legs again.
And so Morbius breaks out of jail.
What is
with
this?
his super bat strength.
Oh yeah.
I guess bats have, like bats are super duper strong, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, because when he was figuring out all his superpowers, he says he's got super bat strength.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have like a montage of him doing like superpower stuff. He has
even Rocky had a montage.
Super Batman senses, like Arkham Asylum Batman senses, where he can like hear everything around him, even if it doesn't make noise. But
yeah.
Oh yeah, you can hear like stuff happening across the city, like very specific people talking from like across
that's
the
right.
city.
He also has like spider powers, doesn't he? Because
Yes.
he can hear spider senses. Because he has sensitive ears and he can. Oh yeah, that's right. I thought it was going to be a plot point because it was like, all right, so they're at this diner and then these guys come in and they start hassling this cash register operator. It's like, here, take this 100. She's like, it's fake. Yeah, I know. Here, take another one and be part of our scam. She's like, I don't want to do this. And then she's forced to anyway. And it's like, oh, so what's this new plot point that comes up? And then Morpheus just follows the guys back to their counterfeiting place, and they beats him up and takes it over for himself like a mobster does.
Yeah, that was the scene where the mysterious guy in the hoodie beats up all the bad guys.
Yeah, and I wonder if
He says that in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's like, all right, we know this is a cliche, but this is a plot thing. We just have to say how he got it.
Okay, audience, let's just get through this part.
Yeah.
We just need to get through this so we can continue with the story. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then no, they don't say if he keeps counterfeiting himself or not, though.
No, they don't actually. Well, he needs to make money
needs the
somehow.
money, yeah.
He needs to fund his science experiments.
And we have this
somehow.
whole plot thread we just dropped of this woman who's part of this crime, right?
Yeah.
So he could go back and start hassling her to pass off the dirty bills. Oh yeah, I already mentioned the hero sulks over his powers so the bad guy gets to enjoy it.
Well, yeah, so he has to confront Matt Smith about that, and he does the "we're not so different, you and I" speech. Tries to get
Well, that's kind of the real point of this movie, though, I
Yeah.
think, because they are.
tries to get Morbius to be an evil vampire like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so like they fight in the subway for a bit, kill more people in the subway, and we get
Oh,
another crime scene with the detectives saying the same thing. They go, "It's Morbius must have done this." Next scene.
Yeah.
And then then we follow Matt Smith for a bit, where he goes to first he like dances in an apartment with his shirt off for a while.
So, so he actually gets to enjoy himself.
Yeah, like he was having fun.
Well, I think Morbius just sort of brooded, didn't he?
Yeah, like he was
God.
like being really happy with all the evil that he could do with his new powers.
Yeah. Ooh, cute.
And so, and then he goes to a bar, and he like hits on this other guy's girlfriend, and then the surprisingly the guy's girlfriend gets mad, or the girlfriend's guy gets mad.
Yeah. And then,
And then later he kills them.
it's really just
outside the bar.
giving.
And then we have another crime scene where the detectives go, well, this must have been Morbius. Ooh. Oh, but no, this time they actually checked security footage and stuff to find out, no, it's actually Matt Smith.
Yeah, no, those guys were just being slightly jerkish so that we could kill him too.
Yeah. So
Matt Smith could kill them.
And and then
Yeah, we'll see. And then, because there's actually this is interesting, because then we kind of skip right over to them having their final fight, because he doesn't really have a plan, Matt Smith. He doesn't have a plan above it, now I'm going to use this blue laser to make everyone like me or something like that.
Yeah, there's no blue laser in this.
So basically, that's why we're able to cut out 40 minutes of plot.
Yeah.
Because if he did have that blue laser plot they would in Spider-Man, the movie would go on for longer.
Yeah.
Because what he really does after that is he just kills all their friends, their mutual friends, to make him sad.
Oh yeah, he kills the doctor,
The father figure and the
Who's
girlfriend.
doctor, yeah.
But the girlfriend very pointedly kissed Morbius and licked some of his blood as well. So
Yes.
in part 2, she may be popping up again.
Yeah. No, we see her open her eyes.
Well, basically, it was like in Star Trek 2 when Spock goes, remember, to Leonard
Yes.
Nimoy. No, to Leonard McCoy.
Leonard, yeah. No, he is Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, that's right. They both have the same name.
Yeah.
Leonard.
And then they have the final confrontation with the CGI mess, where they're throwing each other into buildings, and they end up in a subway or a sewer or whatever.
I liked it enough. It didn't go on for too long.
Man, it was hard to see all the CGI muddy explosions.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff
right. It
kinda
was.
hard
We were
to
in the
see.
theater, and it was dark too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Movies are dark now.
this kind of went on for a while, and then Morbius can also control bats. So he gets a whole army of bats, and throws bats at Matt Smith, punches him with bats into a wall.
Yeah.
And then, and of course he invented a anti-vampire serum. Morbius invented it, and he sticks Matt Smith with it,
And he dies?
and he dies.
Oh, he just simply... Oh, that's right. He just dies, doesn't he? He
Yeah.
doesn't explode or anything.
Yeah. And then Morbius flies off without wings. He just sort of flies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They just kind of fly, don't they?
Yeah, with his wispy CGI wisps.
Yeah.
And then the Dr. Love interest opens her eyes and has the Morbius eyes. And that was kind of it. And that
When did that happen?
at
Was that one of the...
just before the credits.
Oh, okay. So we did see her again then, did we?
Yes.
Okay.
Matt Smith captured her and killed her too.
Gotcha.
To make Morbius mad to turn
I think
him
we call
evil
that
somehow.
fridging the girlfriend or something like that. A comic trope where the girlfriend's just there to die
Yeah, a trope
for
that's
motivation.
not. Well, it's one of the tropes that's not actually a trope. Oh, and turns out this was part of the.
There seems to be more bullets here.
Is there? There it is.
Oh yeah. Oh! You gave it to Samuel L. Jackson, but I think they go on the side here.
Oh, the picture said it goes. He
Oh.
dual wields the guns.
Oh, I guess you got the option then. Oh yeah. So when he's driving, they can go onto the car,
Yeah.
or he can have one.
But yes, and I guess that was pretty much the end. Oh, and then there's like a mid-credits scene.
Yeah, they had two like of them, but they
Where-
didn't have a final one.
Yeah, where the Vulture from Homecoming appears in a jail cell in this universe, and of course is released. Then there's more credits, and then an after-credit scene where Morbius and Vulture are together, and they're like, "Hey, we should team up." And Morbius is like, "Okay." And
Yeah,
that's it. That was it.
It was weird. It's like he's like, I want to talk to you, and then he has like two lines. He's just like, I'm listening, and then he says, let's team up. He has like a bit longer speech, but it's about it. He basically says, let's team up, and then Morbius says, that sounds good, or something like that.
Right,
Just
intriguing.
Yeah, and then that's it. And then we don't get like a final end credits thing. We sat through the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing at the very end of the credits.
Pretty porky.
But there's like unnecessary scenes that like they're not really worth
So I'm
staying
guessing
for.
Michael Keaton's gonna be. I guess he'll be the next Morbius rather than the next Spider-Man.
Well, I think they're gonna do like a what's it called, a Sinister Six movie, where it's
So
all
is Morbius a bad guy or not then?
Uh,
Oh, they don't really want to.
well, I
say.
think it's portraying him as like a heroic character.
Yeah, because he only really did good things.
Yeah. He didn't really kill that nurse. It was
Yeah.
the evil vampire who did it.
Yeah.
So there's no moral quandaries, nothing he has to work through
No,
to find
it's just-
out
yeah.
to figure out himself.
Just property damage, which can be forgiven, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so the nurse was only in that one scene anyway.
Yeah.
That nurse probably did something to deserve it anyway.
Yeah.
Just like those guys on
That's
the
right. We
road.
didn't see her like say something snippy to somebody.
It could have been like selling child's organs on the black market
Or maybe she
from
was
the
doing
children that didn't
yeah.
make it or something like that.
And we're reminded in Matt Smith's final scene that actually Morbius stole Milo's identity because Milo was not his real name. It was
Wow.
Lucian or something stupid like that.
Ah.
But he was just called Milo. And yeah, I forgot about that too. That's right. Like they reminded us Morbius sort of stole his identity and then completely used him for his money. Like he completely, used him as a parasite.
Wow.
And well, yeah, because like Matt Smith was just basically getting a return on his investment when he
Yeah.
used his power.
And he was only killing bad guys.
Yeah, he wasn't killing too many evil guys either. Well, I won't say. Well, I think they're both bad ultimately, but.
Well, no, like the people Matt Smith killed.
Matt
like
Smith
they
isn't.
were like there was a guy who was being kind of a jerk at the newsstand, so it's okay to kill him.
Oh yeah, no. What I mean is that I like overall both these characters are bad characters, probably like
Yeah.
bad people. Matt Smith is just a little differently bad.
Yeah.
And I guess the idea is that he is still angry about the past, while Morbius, I guess, is trying. Yeah, because he's still stuck in the past, trying to get revenge on all the bullies by beating them up, while Morbius is trying to help people, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the main.
He's like
thrust
the
of it.
dark shadow of the
Well,
hero.
Matt Smith is using it for his own purposes, while Morbius wants to use it for.
For good.
Well, yeah, for good, but in the end, he can't use it anyway because it's evil.
Yeah, it turns you into a
cycle
bat
killer.
monster.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that is
was
still
it.
very much like those 19th century books, right? Where somehow one person was able to turn himself into, like, was able to, with one potion, able to, like, separate his personality and also change his body when he turns into evil. That's
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, what'd you think?
it was enjoyable enough, I guess. While I was there, I was just happy to see it. Like the last Batman movie, I was happy just to be in the theater.
Yeah.
And it didn't annoy me, actually. It didn't really, it didn't bother me. A lot of times, I don't like a movie because it bothers me for different reasons. This one didn't bother me. Probably because I had no expectations for it. Yeah, that's it. That's probably what it was. I didn't really have expectations, so I don't have a movie I probably would have preferred to have seen.
Yes, I think that really helps the movie a lot.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a pretty decent pilot for a CW show.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it was. It was basically a pilot for a streaming show.
Yeah.
Which I would probably not bother watching.
Yeah, I wouldn't really watch the show.
Yeah, because like because it's a character like. That's probably why I want more original stuff. Is because then I don't have my own biases I take to it, and I can enjoy it for what it is rather than what I want it to be. Because that's probably my real problem with Star Wars. It's like I don't like the direction they're going, so I keep thinking I know which directions they should go, so it just bothers me. So I just bother myself by going, they aren't doing this right.
Yeah.
Well, the proper response is I'll just move on to something else because there's too much streaming these days. There's bound to be something else to watch.
Yeah, I think that's the right ideas. Like focus more on original ideas, or at least ideas that are legally different from the ones you're stealing from.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, what's your final score?
It's fun enough. Jared Leto is weird, I guess. Well, no, he plays it pretty straight. It's just, I don't know. I don't like him as a person, I don't think.
Out of 10, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I would give it see the Batman instead out of 10.
I would give it see this instead of Batman because it's shorter out of 10. You can watch Batman at home when it comes out on streaming.
Yeah, like if you have if you're like streaming at home and have a choice between the two, do the Batman instead.
Yeah, you can watch Morbius in the theater.
I wouldn't even watch it.
Or just not watch it. Yeah, it's no, it's not going to change your life, and it's not going to be part of popular culture, so you won't be missing anything by missing it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, now she's doing something.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that Spider-Man, no, that's the thing. Spider-Man, he goes around the cities like a little string. He's on a little string, he's a little bob on a string going around the city. If you had a giant cat would get him instantly.
Oh, yeah, that would be like Spider-Man's ultimate
That'd be,
villain.
yeah, not the Goblin, but giant cat.
Yeah. We just need to swat him out of the sky.
Yeah, he'll just grab him very quickly. That one's not as fun.
Yeah, so. Oh, you get Spider-Man.
Shoot everything.
Nah. Always fun for this guy shoot wildly into the air and hit the buildings with the open windows.
Yes, the civilians will be fine, I guess.
Yeah.
If we don't see civilians, that means no one was hurt.
Yeah.
If we don't see anyone, that means
They're off screen, so it doesn't count.
yeah.
There. I think that's good enough. So there's
Good
anything
enough.
else you want to add?
What are credits? I wrote down here. Yeah. Like, what are credits nowadays? Because, like, he goes, so the final shot, there used to be final shots in the movies. But, so this final shot was Morbius flying towards the camera, right? Or something like that?
Yeah.
And it cuts to black, and then we get the title of the show, Morbius. And then some credits. And then we get more movie after that. But we just had a final shot. And then the credits weren't really anything either. I think they just had a couple of names, and then they more had like a flashy, trippy lights coming at you. And then after that, after after he talks to Birdman, then we do have real credits after that. So like what? Yeah. So not so much what are credits. Like we don't have final shots in movies anymore, I guess, because it's Yeah, because you can't have the final shot. You have to have, next time on Morbius. That's what always has to be next time, so we never get a final shot. That's my final rant, I guess, about that.
Okay. So what you think of the Lego Spider-Man
yeah.
No Way Home versus Mysterio drone attack?
What was it, $25?
Yeah, so about $25.
Well, it's pretty quick to build. It has very few pieces. Like other $25 ones had like 300, but this is more for kids.
73 pieces, not.
But as a little toy, I'm always amazed how well Lego cars, just how smooth they go. So we got a neat little car that works, about twice the size of a Hot Wheels. And and the main thing is, for some reason, figures are hard to come by. You can't just buy them. You get a lot of good figures you can't get anywhere else, I guess. You can always have your Spider-Man. Mysterio will probably be hard to come by again.
Yeah.
He'll probably disappear for a while. Although I guess they have like a million Batman. They have like a million of those because they always come out with new Batman.
Yeah, no, it's I guess good enough to do a review with.
If you have lots of money, yeah, it's fine to buy. If money's a thing, this is like $25 to $30. You're not going to get too much out of it unless you want Mysterio.
Yeah, but tax is more like $30 Canadian, so I guess it's. I don't know. I don't think it's enough. There's not enough here to like warrant it, I don't think. But
yeah, for the money, no. No, especially with inflation now.
Unless you really, really, really like Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Which, actually, this what it should say.
No Way Home is the one where they're...
Yeah, No Way Home is one with Doctor Strange with the multiverse and all that. So this should be the Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, Far From Home.
Because that's the one with Mysterio and Samuel L. Jackson.
Is Mysterio in No Way Home?
No.
Not at all.
He's dead in No Way Home.
Oh, they probably just did this so that they could sell it then, because it's the newest one.
Yes.
Because, this is totally from the... I don't know about the cop car, but the drone is totally from the movie, Tony Stark's drone.
Yeah,
that almost shoots up the school bus.
Home.
Because Spider-Man was jealous.
And is a kid and doesn't know how to handle weapons of mass destruction and...
Those, it's weird. Like, they barely glitch. Like, it glitched in the way that he didn't mean to have the bus shot up, but all the commands it responds to, it always responds to commands. It never, like, dips out of service. It fires correctly. It tells you the correct amount of bullets or whatever in the thing. Like, it works perfectly somehow. Like, it doesn't need an army of technicians always, like, fixing it every time it goes out into battle, like a real drone or something. No, and well, that's it. Maybe that's why Tony Stark has like the really good stuff, while we have to fight our wars each other with the bad stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, because if they had like Tony Stark technology,
that's the
wars
thing.
Nowadays, that would probably like killed off the whole planet by now.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably a good thing that Tony doesn't give his really big weapons to the military.
That's right. It should stay in the hands of one person who's definitely wise enough to use it.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's good.